Chapter 33 Luffy vs. Crick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shoo, that I saw a green sword aura, slashing out against the crescent-like sword aura. Boom, that the two sword chi slashed together, and the sky was shocked for a moment. The terrifying sword aura raged, and with the sword aura as the center, the sea water suddenly boiled, and several small pirate ships surrounded by Crick were cut in two. The sword energy is sharp, and it is difficult to distinguish the superiority at this moment. Who actually blocked Hawkeye's slash? That is the best slash in the world. Seeing this scene, Chappu immediately widened his eyes with shock on his face. It's him, the swordsman with the boy who broke our ship. Sanji's eyes were sharp, and he saw the Moonlight all of a sudden, and couldn't help but be very surprised. Is that him? He actually shot at Hawkeye, and even blocked the opponent's slash. It's amazing, this guy is really amazing. Too strong, he is stronger than the pirate hunter Sauron. Following Sanji's gaze, Buladi and his fellow chefs couldn't help being surprised when they saw the Moonlight. It's amazing, is this the Moonlight? Usopp's eyes widened, dumbfounded. Moonlight, Luffy said in surprise. Hawkeye's strength surprised him, and even Sauron was crushed in an instant. Facing such a strong man, he didn't expect Moonlight to be able to fight against it. It seemed comparable, too powerful. Is this kid also with them? Crick's complexion suddenly turned ugly. The fight between these two gave him a new understanding of strength. So strong, Jin's face changed wildly, looking at the Moonlight. Before that, he didn't pay attention to the Moonlight at all, but now it's different. What a powerful slash. I didn't expect Donghai to have a swordsman like you. Hawkeye looked at Moonlight and nodded, as a recognition of Moonlight's strength. I am Moonlight of the Straw Hat Pirates, and Zoro is my companion. Since you have defeated him, as a companion, I will save face for him. Moonlight said lightly, looking straight at Hawkeye, surrounded by arrogance, and instantly armed with the grass pheasant sword. Facing such a strong man, it is impossible for him to hold back. It seemed to be evenly matched just now, but in fact he lost. He tried his best to attack with three-stage slash, but Hawkeye easily caught it, breaking the three-stage slash in an instant. It is clear at a glance who is high and who is low. Immediately, he no longer kept his hand, surrounded by armed domineering, and the grass pheasant sword suddenly turned black. Armed and domineering, I really didn't expect that there are actually domineering characters in the East China Sea. It seems that we can't take it lightly. Seeing the arrogance surrounded by the Moonlight on the sword, Hawkeye was completely dignified. Heidao, shake hands tightly at night, as if facing an enemy. Draw the knife and cut. At this moment, Moonlight strikes again. A Moonlight-like sword energy swung out violently. This sword is extremely fast. Moonlight combines domineering and sword skills into one, and swings it out in an instant. Such fast sword energy. This sword was so fast that even Hawkeye couldn't help being a little surprised, but he reacted immediately. Black Knife.ye cast it again, and the green sword energy swayed, colliding with Moonlight's drawn sword. The two streams of sword energy bombarded together, offset again. Surrounding the sea, as if a tsunami had occurred, the waves were rolling and surging. Have you been blocked again? The number one in the world really deserves its reputation, but I still have tricks. Seeing this, Yueguang's heart became slightly dignified. Hawkeye's strength should be in the realm of LV5 or LV6, and there is a big gap between him and him. Even if he tries his best, he can at most just compete. Under 100 blows, he is afraid that he will be defeated immediately. Hawkeye is really strong. But facing the world's number one swordsman, he still wanted to give it a try. Dragon breaks the sky. Immediately, the Moonlight entered the state of human sword integration. The sword energy enveloped the body, and the whole person rushed out, pulling out many phantoms on the sea surface, and the sound of sounded again. On the surface of the sea, there are many phantoms of Moonlight moving everywhere. The speed is so fast that no one can see clearly. Okay, this trip to the East China Sea is worthwhile, but that's it for now. Moonlight, I recognize your strength. There are too many obstacles right now. let's fight another day. After speaking, Hawkeye's eyes narrowed immediately, but he didn't continue to shoot, but the black Knife.ye swung back and slashed at a bullet. The bullet was immediately bounced, and after all this was done, Hawkeye took a deep look at the Moonlight, and flew away. It turned out that it was Crick who made the move. In the intense battle between Moonlight and Hawkeye, he was caught off guard and wanted to kill Hawkeye in one go. It is worthy of being the sinister and vicious overlord of the East China Sea. Despicable and shameless, secretly sniping. Humph, seeing Hawkeye flying away, he didn't know what happened. Looking at Crick, he was furious. However, at this moment, Luffy suddenly said to Chappu, "If I help you drive him away, will it be considered compensation for your loss?" Luffy looked at Crick indifferently, and said to Chappu and others, "Of course can." Zap nodded, agreeing. "It is good." Luffy clenched his fists and looked at Crick. "How dare you hinder my duel?" Moonlight looked at Crick with a cold light in his eyes. It was a hard-fought duel that was abruptly interrupted by someone, whoever it was, would be extremely upset in the bottom of my heart, let alone Moonlight. Since coming to Pirate World, he has been looking forward to this battle for a long time. Now that's the end of it. Moonlight, leave him to me. At this moment, Luffy suddenly flew over and looked at Crick. "It is good." Hearing this, Moonlight nodded. Although he was unhappy with this despicable guy, he didn't have the desire to make a move. Too weak. It's not worth his shot at all. "Humph, are you underestimating me?" Crick smiled coldly. No matter whether it was Hawkeye, or Moonlight, or Luffy, he didn't pay attention to it. In his eyes, as long as he can win, the method does not matter, the result is the most important. "Luffy, be careful. Although this guy is a bit despicable, his strength is extraordinary." Usopp quickly reminded. "It doesn't matter, whether it's for freedom or for the Moonlight, I'm going to blow this guy away." Luffy's eyes turned cold, and he looked at Crick. "Ha ha ha, what a shameless brat, I have killed countless characters like you over the years, and you want to challenge me just because of you." Crick smiled coldly and looked at Luffy with disdain. "Huh, you actually challenge our captain, you really don't know how to live or die. Although we were defeated on the Great Route, it's not something you can deal with. You're courting death. Captain, let this kid know how powerful our Creek pirates are." Chapter 34 Captain, leave these small trash fish to me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, everyone in the pirate group who got the food brought by Ajin recovered one after another. Seeing that Luffy actually challenged their captain, they couldn't help but sneered. "Want to challenge me? You are not qualified enough, little ones, come on, let them see the strength of our Creek pirates." Seeing this, Crick sneered. Although Luffy challenged him, he was not someone who could challenge anyone who wanted to. This is the majesty of the overlord of the East China Sea. "Come on, let this kid know how powerful we are. Hey, boy, do you also want to challenge our captain?" How naive. Our captain, not anyone can challenge. Hearing this, all the pirates laughed one after another, and then rushed over. "No need, just solve this kind of small role, I will do it." However, at this moment, a man who looked like a sea turtle and was more than 2 meters tall appeared. He rolled over from the pirate ship, blocked in front of Luffy, looked at Luffy and the others, and said coldly, "It's Captain Baloo, go ahead, kill these people. Captain Baloo is powerful, second only to our captain, kill them. Come on, Captain Baloo." Seeing this man, all the pirates nodded, stopped, and cheered excitedly, as if this man possessed extremely powerful strength. Hey. Baloo smiled and looked at Luffy. "Okay." Luffy frowned. In this case, if he wanted to knock Crick flying, he had to deal with the person in front of him first. Buzz. However, as soon as he thought about it, a crescent-like sword energy suddenly slashed out from his side. Baloo's entire body was split into two in an instant. Plop into the sea, dead. In this way, he was killed by a sword. To deal with this kind of trivial matter, why should our captain take action? "Come on, Captain, I will deal with these little bastards." Moonlight came over and looked at the pirates in front of him coldly. After Baloo was killed, they instantly changed from excited to stunned and shocked. After Yuegwang finished speaking, the voices of gasping for air rang out one after another. Hiss. Impossible, Captain Baloo was killed like this? Is this swordsman so strong? He actually killed our captain with one sword. It's too powerful, that they looked at the Moonlight and were shocked. Humph, how dare you kill my subordinates in front of me, everyone, come on, kill him. That when Crick saw Baloo who had been killed by a sword, his expression immediately turned cold. Killing his subordinates in front of him is a shame and a shame. Hearing this, all the pirates rushed up immediately. Crick has, subordinates, and all of them rushed up at once, densely packed, and they were shocked. No, there are too many people here. 2 fists can't beat 4 hands. Moonlight, I'll help you. Moonlight. Seeing this scene, Luffy and Usopp couldn't help being shocked, and quickly looked at Moonlight. There are too many people. No matter how strong he is, he will do his best if he is besieged by so many people. Let's help too, these pirates are really hateful. Okay. Anyway, their goal is our restaurant. This restaurant must not be given to them. Since there will be a battle sooner or later, let's go. That when the chefs in the restaurant saw this scene, they were filled with righteous indignation and roared again and again. Afterwards, he was fully alert, and was about to rush up to compete with the Crick pirates. Ha ha! The Overlord is domineering. Seeing this scene, Moonlight smiled faintly, looked at the overwhelming pirates in front of him, and shouted coldly. Suddenly, a blue air flow centered on his body and spread out in all directions. Buzz, that I saw 4,000 meters around. All the pirates rushing forward seemed to be hit by a hold spell. Their bodies froze in place for a while, and then they fainted one by one. In a blink of an eye, all the pirates lost their fighting power and fell to the ground. Not only them, but also the restaurant cooks who rushed over were also affected by this breath. Those who rushed faster also stopped suddenly, fainted with a puff, and some even foamed at the mouth. What happened? Seeing this, Crick's pupils shrank sharply. This situation was something he never thought of. Is this the domineering look that Yuegwang talked about? Usopp was secretly startled, looked at Luffy. Luffy nodded towards Moonlight appreciatively, and then rushed to Crick with all his heart. Damn, what happened? Why did it happen? There are at least 5,000 people here. Why did they all fall down at once? Did he cast any magic? Not only the enemy, but even our people. What is this? The chefs waiting in the restaurant stared at the scene in shock, their faces full of confusion and shock, completely unaware of what happened. The rest of the people didn't dare to take a step forward anymore, and looked at them in surprise. With their knowledge, they naturally couldn't understand what happened. Old man, what's going on? Sanji was also taken aback, and hurriedly asked Chappu. I don't know, but what is clear is that the swordsman in front of me is the strongest among these people. No wonder he can fight with Hawkeye, and he is on par. I thought it was just Hawkeye who didn't want to fight in such a place. Now, it seems that this person is no small thing. Zep murmured, he really doesn't know the domineering aura of Overlord color, but he can feel the power of the Moonlight, which has surpassed the imagination of ordinary people. There are such powerful people in the world. Sanji looked at the Moonlight with a shocked expression on his face. He only felt that he was a frog in a well. No one is allowed to intervene until the victory between our captain and the enemy is determined. After finishing all this, Yuegwang clapped his hands, sat aside, and said calmly as if nothing happened. However, at this time, no one dared to question what he said. Rubber, pistol. At this moment, Luffy has already started to act. His arms stretched suddenly, his fists condensed, and he ran towards Crick. He needs to accumulate enough strength to knock it into the air in one go. Hee, boy, you are courting death. Sword Mountain Cloak. Crick looked at Luffy, and the moment he rushed over, his body suddenly moved. Pong. Immediately, dense, hedgehog-like sharp steel thorns burst out of his body armor. Luffy was caught off guard and punched him with steel thorns all over his body. What? Luffy screamed suddenly, his body was traumatized. It's not over yet. a little pirate like you actually dares to challenge me, then I'll show you how awesome it is. Big gun. Afterwards, Crick sneered, and a spear the size of 3 people suddenly appeared in his hand. Chapter 35. This is Luffy's battle, no one is allowed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. One shot. Boom. Before Luffy got close, the surroundings of his body suddenly exploded. Luffy's whole body was blown away instantly, and he flew upside down violently, his body covered in cuts and bruises. What is this? Fortunately, Luffy is a rubber man with strong vitality. Although he was blown up all of a sudden, he quickly got up, looking at the big gun in Crick's hand, and said in surprise. It's appeared. It's the captain's unique weapon, the great gun. It contains thunder and explosives. One shot can cause the gunpowder to explode. With this, our captain is invincible all over the East China Sea. Did you see that, boy? This is the strength of our captain, and it cannot be compared by a weak person like you. Hey, captain, kill him. All the pirates around Crick clamored. Luffy. Usopp yelled worriedly, then looked to the Moonlight. Moonlight, this guy is too powerful, I'm afraid Luffy is no match, you. Usopp said, but before he finished speaking, Moonlight waved his hand and said. This is a battle between the captain and the captain. I will not intervene. If Luffy dies in battle, then no one can be blamed for it, only his lack of strength. Since he wants to be the One Piece, then this is the only way he must go. Moonlight shook her head and refused to make a move. Moonlight, you. Usopp froze for a moment, looked at Luffy with worry on his face, but couldn't say a word at this time, as Moonlight said, since he wants to be the One Piece, this is what he must experience, he can only succeed, not fail, otherwise he will fall in such a place. What kind of pirate king is he? Is One Piece so easy to be? Moonlight is right. Are these guys just watching like this? That Straw Hat Kid, he's about to die. Hey, aren't you going to make a move? The cooks in the restaurant beside them couldn't help shouting when they saw this scene. If you just watch your partner die, then I will take action, Sanji said coldly. Although he and Luffy just met each other for the first time, their personalities and tempers are quite compatible, but right now they can't just watch Luffy being killed. After all, we must act. However. Buzz. A crescent-like sword energy slashed out. The sword energy flashed in front of everyone, and a deep crack of sword energy appeared on the Bharati restaurant. Sanji's imminent movement stopped immediately, and he narrowed his eyes, looking at the Moonlight who made a sudden move. Hiss. The other cooks gasped one after another, looking at this sword energy. Is this something humans can do? Then their eyes focused on Yueguang. They obviously just wanted to help, why stop them? Are they not companions? This is our captain's battle, whoever dares to intervene, I will kill whoever. Moonlight said coldly, with a terrifying and murderous aura, undisguised, burst out. Feeling this murderous aura, everyone couldn't help being silent, especially when recalling the battle with Hawkeye before Moonlight, where he killed Balu with a single sword. He couldn't help being even more terrified. Even Sanji, seeing such sword energy, couldn't help but take a deep breath, and didn't dare to move again. Just kidding, what Yueguang said is not like a joke, nor is it a simple threat, but it will really kill people. No one will question the words of a swordsman with a sword. Suddenly everyone looked at each other in blank dismay, not daring to move. Boom. At this moment, Crick brandished the big gun again. He kept using it, and every time, Luffy was directly blown away, and then bounced, got up and continued, falling down again and again, standing up again and again. Luffy seemed to be the same as the god of war, and everyone was speechless at this moment. Even the pirates on Crick are speechless at the moment. Luffy's vitality is really amazing. Luffy. Usopp yelled worriedly, but seeing that Luffy never gave up, got up again and again, and rushed towards Crick, he couldn't help being shocked. Ah! Rubber, machine gun. Falling down again and again, getting up again and again, Luffy became more and more courageous, like a piece of rubber. Finally, the speed of the whole person became faster and faster, and rushed towards Crick. Both fists exploded, sweeping out like machine guns. Immediately, countless fist shadows enveloped Crick. Seeing this, Crick smiled disdainfully. Haven't you realized yet? You guys, how many times do you fall down before you know how powerful you are? After speaking, the big gun was swung out again. After continuous fighting, although his physical strength and speed began to decline, the power of the big gun did not decrease at all. Immediately swing the gun. Boom! A shocking explosion burst out violently. This explosion is more violent than ever before. I saw that Luffy's whole body was instantly submerged in the explosion, even the surrounding hull was blown up in half. Luffy, seeing such a tragic scene, Usopp couldn't help but screamed. No, this power is a bit too great, that kid, I'm afraid it will be over. Sanji and other cooks couldn't help being surprised, however, no one dared to take a step beyond the crack cut by the Moonlight. As expected of the captain, it's amazing, it's amazing. Stinky boy, now you know how powerful our captain is, how stupid it is to be an enemy of our captain. Hey, Master Captain, just kill him like this, our Crick pirates are invincible. All the pirates on Crick shouted loudly. Moonlight. Usopp looked at Moonlight again, worried. Don't worry, Luffy won't fall down so easily, keep your eyes open. However, Moonlight smiled, pointed forward indifferently, and said lightly, I saw a figure suddenly stood up and walked out from the flames of war. Who else is it not Luffy? At this moment, his eyes were sharp, and the aura on his body became stronger and stronger. Facing Crick, he would not give in at all. Especially in his hands, there is a spear point in his hand. It is the tip of the Crick war gun. It was pulled out abruptly by Luffy. Hey, other than this, what else do you have? Luffy smiled coldly at Crick. This guy, at this moment, whether it is an enemy, an ally, or a companion, they are all frightened by Luffy at this moment. Zap sighed even more. In this sea, there are two kinds of people. One is like Crick, who relies on external weapons to disguise himself, making himself invulnerable and extremely powerful. The other is the Straw Hat Boy, who doesn't rely on anything but his own hands and heart. No matter what enemy he faces, he will fight bravely and never give up until he defeats the enemy. I don't know who will win in the end. Chapter 36 M.H. 5 Gas Bombs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. One with powerful equipment and the other with a strong heart. Sanji was stunned, Chappu's words shocked him greatly. Although a person with a strong appearance is powerful and can intimidate others, but a person with a strong heart is truly powerful and can go further. Almost instantly, Sanji had the answer, and looked at Luffy. This is the real powerhouse. Sure enough, not long after, there was a click, as if something was broken. Everyone looked over and saw that the big gun in Crick's hand was completely interrupted by Luffy. The extremely solid gold, under Luffy's constant bombardment, could no longer bear it and shattered. Crick, who had lost his golden armor, was shocked, but before he could react, Luffy punched him hard in the face. Boom! His whole body was immediately blown away, and he hit the cabin hard, making the already dilapidated ship even more dilapidated. Captain Crick was actually sent flying. How is that possible? This kid actually defeated Captain Crick. Captain Crick. All the pirates on the ship stared blankly at this scene, their faces full of disbelief. After Crick was sent flying, a certain belief in their hearts seemed to be defeated. The captain was defeated. Ajin lost his mind and murmured, looking at Crick, who was blown away by a punch. He has always followed Crick as an example and vowed to become such a man, but now such a man has been defeated. He feels that his beliefs for so many years have been knocked down. No, Captain Crick will not lose, and neither have we. Suddenly, Ajin's eyes turned cold and firm, and two iron crutches appeared in his hands, and he yelled at Crick. Captain, stand up for me. You are the strongest man in the East China Sea. You must not be defeated. If anyone dares to doubt you, I will kill him immediately. After all, Ajin danced his crutches and rushed towards Luffy. It's too despicable. actually intervening in the middle. Crick was defeated. Isn't this rubber boy very powerful, but this person is too unreasonable to intervene at this time. Be careful, Straw Hat. Seeing this scene, the excited cooks shouted to remind Luffy. Damn, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Sanji's eyes turned cold, and he gave Ajin a meal. He thought that this person would repay his kindness, but he was also a villain. Also, how could the people brought out by people like Crick be good people? He is so naive. I won't let you interfere. Thinking of this, Sanji shot suddenly. Go away, Ajin roared, and hit with a crutch. Boom, immediately, Sanji was sent flying with a crutch, and he couldn't even catch Ajin's blow. Sanji. This man is so powerful, even Sanji. No way, there are such masters. Seeing this scene, the cooks on the side were stunned. They never imagined that Ajin, who was silent all the time, would actually have such skills. As expected of Captain Ajin, it's amazing. Captain Ajin, you finally made a move. Come on, Captain Ajin, kill all these people. When all the pirates saw Ajin making a move, they couldn't help cheering. This guy is actually the captain of the Crick pirates. Usopp was dumbfounded. He never thought that Ajin, who was so ugly, actually had such an identity. Not only him, but all the cooks were also stunned, especially Patty. He had kicked out Ajin before. This kind of person is actually a big shot. As I said before, outsiders are not allowed to intervene in our captain's battle, or we will die. However, at this moment, Moonlight suddenly made a move. A crescent-like sword energy cut towards Ajin. He had spoken first, but there are still people who dare to cross the line. Could it be that his words are deaf to his ears? Buzz. The sword energy pierced through the air and slashed out. Ajin's heart was shocked, and he quickly raised his crutches and fought back vigorously. However, only by experiencing it for yourself can you truly appreciate the horror of Moonlight's slash. This sword energy, which is comparable to the world's #1 swordsman, Hawkeye, has already surpassed human beings. Crack. The crutches in his hands, as well as the whole person, were cut off at once and fell into the sea. Captain Ajin. Hiss. Captain Ajin was chopped off by this swordsman. Damn it, is this person so powerful? The pirates looked around. Seeing this scene, they who were originally cheering, immediately exclaimed again and again. Moonlight, you are too strong. Usopp breathed a sigh of relief, and looked at the Moonlight with a shocked face. This swordsman. Sanji covered his wound and looked at Moonlight with a surprised face. A man who can tie with Hawkeye is of course very strong. He is not at the same level as everyone present. Japu smiled and was not surprised at all. The cooks were stunned, speechless looking at the Moonlight. Damn it, you beat me to this point. You are still #1 in history. At this moment, Crick walked out of the dilapidated cabin. Having lost his big gun, he was extremely embarrassed, and the golden armor on his body was also broken a lot. He looked at Luffy, and when he saw Ajin who was chopped off by a sword, his face became completely gloomy. Crack Kacha. His arms suddenly made a clockwork-like sound, and the golden armor suddenly changed, and a round muzzle appeared. No, this is. Put on the mask quickly, Captain Crick is going to use that trick. Hurry up, put on the mask. Seeing this, the pirates all around couldn't help but exclaimed, as if they saw something extremely terrifying. They screamed in shock, then they pull out masks from a boat and put them on. What is that? What happened? It doesn't look good. The cooks looked at the pirates all around in bewilderment, full of doubts. Could it be that he wants to? Sanji and Zap seemed to have thought of something, and their expressions changed wildly. No, Usopp, Moonlight, and everyone, hurry up, he's going to poison you. At this moment, Luffy ran back suddenly, shouting at Moonlight and the others. He looked very anxious, as if something terrible was about to happen. With his temperament, he is actually like this, so it can be seen that Crick's next move is not trivial. Hey, that's right, let you have a taste of Lao Tzu's ultimate move, MH5. This is a gas bomb specially made by Lao Tzu to conquer the Great Route. One bomb can turn the world of 10,000 meters into a highly poisonous world. Anyone without a gas mask will die. What, are you afraid? It's a pity that there is no medicine for regret in the world. It's you who pushed me to this point, so now, you all die for me. Chapter 37 All Blue. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Crick shouted loudly with a hideous face, then, a purple cannonball shot out from his arm, and shot towards everyone in Baladi restaurant. Damn! Go to the back kitchen and take out the gas masks for everyone to put on. Seeing this, Chapu couldn't help but his face changed drastically. He finally knew why the Crick pirates were wearing masks. Crick actually dropped a gas bomb on them. This kind of gas bomb may not be as powerful as a shell, but its lethality is terrifying. A gas bomb is enough to destroy a village of people. This is tragic and against the power of heaven. Only such a vicious person would use this method. Crick actually used this against them. He is the devil. Quick, hurry up and take out the gas mask. This devil. Despicable, shameless Crick. The cooks ran wildly. Asshole. Luffy was furious, but he couldn't do anything about the gas bomb. So cruel. Usopp has learned a lot. He never thought that someone could be so ruthless. Buzz. Just when everyone was shocked and frantically looking for a mask to hide, a crescent-like sword aura appeared in the shape of a fan and slashed away. But it was the Moonlight, drawing the sword at this moment. The sword chi swept across the four directions, and the poisonous chi that spread out was rushed by the sword chi, and suddenly became scattered in all directions. Dragon breaks the sky. Then the Moonlight yelled, the human sword merged into one, the sword energy enveloped the body, and the whole person moved rapidly on the sea surface. All of a sudden, his phantoms were everywhere on the surface of the sea, and at the same time, violent sea winds surged around, blowing away the scattered poisonous gas, and finally dissipated completely, and at this moment, a whistling sound resounded on the sea, and finally stopped abruptly in front of Crick. Moonlight calmly withdraws the sword. I saw Crick froze in place, and then the golden armor on his body was torn apart, and was chopped into scrap iron by Moonlight's sword. And even the whole body was split in half at once. Killed by a sword. You actually smashed my golden armor. Crick stared wide-eyed, looking at the Moonlight in shock. Don't rest your eyes. He couldn't believe it until he died, that someone could split his gold armor with sword energy. How could such a thing happen? It's too powerful. To actually split Captain Crick's golden armor with a single sword. Is this person human? He's not a human, he's a devil. How can a normal person have such abilities? The rubber boy didn't break through the captain's golden armor just now after beating for a long time. This swordsman split it with a single sword. Who the hell is he? Not only Crick, but all the pirates who had seen Crick's strength couldn't help being shocked. They followed Crick to fight in the north and south, and they have seen the strength of the overlord of the East China Sea with their own eyes. Now he was killed by a sword. Everyone can't help feeling that their faith is about to collapse. Amazing. The restaurant chefs also stared wide-eyed, their faces full of disbelief. They were about to go to the back kitchen to get gas masks to avoid the gas bombs, but the next moment the Moonlight solved everything, and even Crick himself was killed by a sword. So powerful, they are not the captain, these guys. Sanji was so shocked that he didn't even realize the cigarette had dropped from his mouth. Looking at the Moonlight, I just feel that this person is so strong that he is completely different from them. Moonlight. Luffy jumped up happily. That's great, it's really Moonlight. Hey, get on my boat and be my cook. However, this excitement only lasted for 10 seconds. Luffy looked at Sanji in a blink of an eye and extended an invitation. During this period of getting along, he has already taken a fancy to Sanji. Everyone was speechless. Is it appropriate to say this at a time like this? Especially in front of everyone in Baladi restaurant. Is this cheating? Sanji subconsciously wanted to refuse, but when he saw the Moonlight and thought about it, the words he wanted to say suddenly stuck in his throat, but he couldn't say anything. How about it, let's go to sea together and go to the Great Route. Luffy's warm invitation. Is it a great route? Sanji swallowed. To be honest, Luffy's invitation made him very tempted. What's more, the captain has a guy like Moonlight. What kind of team is that? Of course he had heard of the Great Route. It was a fascinating place. Most importantly, Luffy's words touched a long-awaited dream in his heart. All blue. As a chef, no one does not yearn for this place. Here are the most complete ingredients in the world. Sanji. You. Is it still tempting after all? Seeing Sanji's expression, the Baladi chefs fell silent for a while. They have spent the longest time with Sanji. Although they often fight and fight, they all understand each other. How could he not know about Sanji's dream? Sanji, go if you want. We are all old. We will stay in this restaurant and we won't leave, and we don't want to go outside. You are still young, so you shouldn't stay here. You should go to see the wider sea, and, to fulfill the dreams of all our chefs, all blue. Seeing this, Chappu smiled and looked at Sanji. Everyone, old man, I. Looking at everyone, especially Chappu, Sanji suddenly knelt down. I can't cry. During these times, thank you for taking care of me, old man. I will never repay your kindness, I. Sanji paused every word, and said loudly, but at the end, he couldn't continue. He is a decisive person, otherwise he would not go against all opinions and cook for Ajin alone. All blue is the place he always dreamed of going. As a man, he should set sail to find the great route and make a fortune, but family affection is the biggest constraint that bothers him. And right now, meeting Luffy is his greatest opportunity. He has seen this group of people with his own eyes, and they are very suitable for his appetite. They are his dream partners. These people are also worthy of his cooking skills. But, Sanji's heart trembled violently. It's not good. Miss Nami drove the boat and left by herself. Her goal is Aaron Paradise. At this moment, Joseph and Johnny, who rescued Sauron from the sea, shouted at Luffy and everyone that something was wrong. What? Nami escaped. Usopp couldn't help but widen his eyes. What's going on? Aaron Paradise. A cold light flashed in Moonlight's eyes. My navigator ran away. And didn't say a word. No, Chase. Luffy was startled for a moment, then said loudly. Okay. Luffy, go get Nami back. This guy dared to run away. You must give me an explanation. Sauron gasped. Chapter 38 Stormy Seas. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's go. Luffy shouted, involuntarily, pulled Moonlight, Usopp, Zoro, Joseph, Johnny, and Sanji, stretched their arms, and flew towards the boat. Hey, are we going to? Seeing this, Joseph was taken aback, as if he understood something. Captain, Johnny struggled. Zoro is sick. Usopp was shocked. No need, I'll do it myself. The moonlight flashed lightly, and before Luffy could react, he was as fast as lightning and floated onto the boat. In the end, Sanji was left, looking at the scene in front of him blankly, not knowing what was going on. Boom! I saw that Luffy was like a slingshot. His outstretched arms suddenly retracted, and the 5 of them were like birds being ejected, and their bodies could not help falling violently onto the boat. Bang 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 bang, 5 people landed on the ground with their heads on the ground. Hey, are you still alive? Sanji was the first to come back to his senses, and couldn't help but look at Luffy with regret. This is their captain. It's too messy. Damn, am I on a pirate ship? Thinking of this, Sanji took out a cigarette and lit it, looking at the others. I'm fine, but I must remember one thing in the future, cherish life and stay away from Luffy. Usopp's nose came out first, and then he covered his long nose and said with a conscious face. Is this the captain of the Big Brother? It's so violent. Big Brother, how are you? Fortunately, I didn't fall to my death. Joseph and Johnny quickly looked at Sauron, and found that Sauron was still soundly asleep, looking unaware, and couldn't help admiring. Okay, everyone, let's set sail to chase Nami back. Luffy laughed. It didn't matter, he sat on the bow and shouted loudly. Hey, Captain, don't you think you should give everyone an explanation? You're too messy to do this. That's right, it's too messy for you to do this. You must not do this in the future. Also, if Nami is not here, who will guide the direction? Not bad. Seeing this, Joseph, Johnny, and Sanji couldn't help shouting loudly, extremely dissatisfied. Ah. That's it. Hearing this, Usopp couldn't help touching his chin, looking like he was thinking. Zoro is a road idiot, Luffy is an idiot, I don't know how to sail, you two are useless, you are a cook, the only thing you can do is Moonlight, show the way. Usopp looked at the Moonlight on the observation deck with a look of admiration, while the others were all disdainful. Hey, who are you underestimating? Although I am a cook, I have lived at sea for more than 10 years. I still know the easy way. Sanji was furious, his eyebrows curled up. Boy, who do you call trash? Believe it or not, I'll kill you. Besides, we watched Sister Nami leave with our own eyes. I know her general direction. Yes, we are eyewitnesses, without us, who would know where Sister Nami is going? Joseph and Johnny also pointed at Usopp's long nose and shouted. Oh. Luffy looked at a few people, nodded, and looked very understanding. No, I'm just talking about the matter. Hey, Moonlight, you can say something at least. Seeing the angry expressions of several people, Usopp couldn't help but waved his hands and looked at Moonlight. Buzz. However, I saw the Moonlight on the observation deck, waving the long sword in his hand, chopping out crescent-like sword aura. The sword energy was extremely sharp, and when the slash hit the sea, layers of waves erupted, the turbulent waves turned into strength, pushing the boats of the people to fly forward. I'll go, use sword energy as power to drive the boat, it's amazing. Brother Moonlight, your swordsmanship is much better than Brother Sauron. The people who were arguing could not help admiring Moonlight's actions. This guy. Sanji narrowed his eyes, although he was pretentious, but seeing such a powerful existence as Moonlight, he couldn't help but shudder in his heart. The strong at sea are respected. Wow, Moonlight, you are really reliable. Luffy yelled loudly with joy on his face. How can you rely on it? You see, the Moonlight was chopped with your eyes closed. What do you mean? You are simply practicing swords, not guiding. However, Usopp roared, pointed at the Moonlight, and shouted. His eyes were sharp, and when others noticed the fierceness of Moonlight's sword energy, Usopp, who was not surprised at all, saw Moonlight's eyes, which were completely closed from beginning to end. Ah. I'm sorry, you are all arguing endlessly there, and I don't know when the result will come out, so I decided to leave everything to God's will. I practiced the sword while sailing the boat. As for where I will end up, it is completely up to God. Hearing a few people quarreling, Uegwang did not change his sword practice, but turned his head, looked at everyone, and said calmly. However, when he said this, everyone froze in place. Resigned to fate. It's all luck. No, 0.5 people, you look at me, I look at you, even Luffy is shocked at the moment. Suddenly, the 5 of them shouted in unison. I'm going, you stop. Stop it. Your luck is very bad, we are now getting farther and farther away from Miss Nami, no wonder I felt a little bit wrong just now. Joseph and Johnny shouted at once. Ha, Moonlight, you are really interesting. Luffy smiled heartlessly, he just found it very interesting. Hey, Moonlight, aren't you kidding? Usopp stared wide-eyed, staring at the Moonlight in astonishment. Is this still the strong Moonlight who tied with Hawkeye? Resign yourself to fate. See luck. I go. Hey, it's enough. Since no one can make the decision, I'll come. I'm a cook with ideals. I don't want to just get lost when I go to sea. The veins on Sanji's face wrinkled, and then he was furious. After one person gave a chestnut, everyone calmed down, and Sanji was in charge of driving the boat. Although he is not a professional navigator, Sanji is obviously better than others in terms of navigation skills. Moreover, the road was cloudless and the sky was clear. The group crossed the sea area very smoothly, and a coastline faintly appeared in front of them, which seemed to be like an island. Look, it's an island. Usopp has been using a magnifying glass to check the movement on the sea, and he was the first to react and screamed excitedly. Really? Great! Joseph and Johnny looked over one after another, and they could vaguely see a white line, and couldn't help cheering. Wow, there is an island. Then there is meat to eat. Luffy's eyes lighted up. Having an island means having a restaurant, and having a restaurant means having meat. Thinking of this, Luffy couldn't wait even more. Hey, I'm a first-class chef here, and I still need to go to the restaurant, so I'll do it for you. Hearing this, Sanji exhaled smoke and said calmly. However, our ship is a simple fast boat. There are no ingredients, no materials, and no tools. I don't think even a chef can cook without rice. Usopp couldn't help but stare at Sanji with wide eyes. Third-rate cooks only rely on tools and materials, while first-rate cooks rely on their hearts. If there are no ingredients, then use local ingredients. The sea is so big, are you afraid that there will be no ingredients? Sanji said disdainfully, pointing to the sea. Look, I'll find you a bunch of ingredients in minutes. After speaking, he will go to sea. Suddenly, a stormy sea surged up suddenly. Chapter 39 The Evil Dragon Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suddenly, a huge manatee with a size of more than 10 meters, like a small mountain, appeared in everyone's sight. It has a white coffee color all over its body, and its eyes are extremely fierce. When it sees Luffy and others, it exudes a ferocious aura. Wow, so big, Luffy couldn't help but screamed. What kind of monster is this, a manatee? Usopp's pupils widened, and without a word, he immediately ran behind the Moonlight. On this ship, he felt that only the Moonlight could bring him a sense of security. Not good, Sea King monster, this is too bad, brother, wake up quickly. Joseph and Johnny quickly shouted at Sauron. Great, ready-made ingredients. Sanji exhaled a smoke ring, his face beaming with joy. After all, let's do it. Come over. However, Moonlight suddenly made a move, his pupils shrank, and an invisible evil spirit waved out. The extremely ferocious manatee suddenly trembled all over, looking extremely terrified. Moonlight smiled faintly and waved at it. Suddenly, the giant manatee, like a child, obeyed obediently, moved its body, and fell in front of Moonlight. This. I'm going, brother Moonlight, what did you do to it? Moonlight, I knew it, and you are the most reliable. Moonlight, whoa. Seeing this scene, Sanji and the other 5 were stunned, especially Luffy, who excitedly jumped on the manatee, touching it here and there, as if he had just gotten a new toy. Use it as the power to pull the boat. As for the ingredients. Moonlight looked at Sanji, pointed at Mtlnovel, then looked at the sea, and slashed out with a sword. Buzz, a crescent-like sword aura burst out through the air, overcoming the thorns and waves on the sea. I saw the sea quickly split on both sides, as if a crack appeared, and then countless fish, shrimps, crabs and shells flew into the sky in the torrent and landed on the boat. These are enough to eat, Moonlight said lightly. Usopp. Joseph, Johnny. Sanji. Everyone was dumbfounded. It turned out that the sword energy still had this effect. Just when everyone was stunned, Nami stopped the Mary on an island. She jumped up and flew ashore. After saying hello to 2 parading sea beasts on the shore, she walked towards a huge paradise. Dragon pirates, Aaron's paradise. Nami. Nami is back. Our little thief cat is back. I don't know which group of pirates it is, so unlucky. Along the way, seeing Nami, all the pirates in the Dragon Pirates greeted Nami one after another. Nami nodded, as a greeting, and came to Aaron, throwing a bag of gold and a chart. Reward. Nami said lightly. As expected of a little thief cat, he never returns empty-handed every time, and this sea map is really accurate. Although I am a Murloc, I can't draw such a sea map. Aaron didn't even look at the gold, but picked up the chart and looked at it, and exclaimed immediately. Yes, although we are Murlocs, no one can draw this kind of sea chart. Nami, you are amazing. Hearing this, an octopus-like Murloc took a look and couldn't help giving Nami a thumbs up. Xiao Ba, what you said is not wrong at all. Although Nami is only a human being, she is completely different from those ordinary human beings. The other Murloc, who was wearing a dark blue karate suit and had 2 fins on his back, also nodded and said with a serious face. Xiaoba, Krubby, what you said is absolutely right, human beings, I only recognize Nami. And a Murloc next to him, wearing dark blue biceps on his upper body and brown shorts on his lower body, with yellow hair and lips like a gunfish, spoke. He glanced at the chart and agreed with Xiaoba and Krubby. Nami, I really miss you leaving more and more. Hearing this, Eren smiled at Nami. Ha ha. Nami trembled, then sneered. Million Baileys, I will save enough soon, when the time comes, don't break your promise. After speaking, just leave, this is the agreement between her and Eren. If she can save, million Baileys, she can redeem her Kokoyasi village and freedom. It is for this reason that she joins the Dragon Pirates, becomes a member, and runs desperately on the sea. Brother, it seems that Nami is going to leave. Looking at the back of Nami leaving, Crow Obi couldn't help saying. I really miss Nami, Xiao Ba sighed. Is there no way to keep her? Jiu frowned and looked at Eren. There may be only one talent like her in this world. It's a pity to let her go, but I, Eren, are the most trustworthy. However, I can. Eren smiled coldly, and told the 3 of them a plan. Hearing this, the 3 of them suddenly laughed knowingly. This is where the Dragon Pirates are, Eren Paradise. This is too big, who knows where Nami is? At this time, Luffy and his party, pulled by the manatee Momo, finally landed. After seeing the melee docked on the shore, they looked excited, and then went ashore, and the next step was to find Nami. Now that I'm on Luffy's thief ship, it's not that easy to get off the ship. After landing, the group looked at the vast islands and couldn't help but marvel. Let's split up. Sanji proposed directly. Okay, once everyone discovers something, immediately send a signal. The other party is the Dragon Pirates, we don't want to fight alone. Usopp nodded, then made his own decision and pulled Moonlight. In this way, I will be with Moonlight. After finishing speaking, he held on to Moonlight tightly, as if he was afraid that Moonlight would leave him. Okay, I'm on my own, heading in this direction. Hearing this, Sanji nodded and pointed in a direction. We are in charge of taking care of Brother Sauron, it's near here. Joseph and Johnny pointed at Sauron. Then on my side, Usopp, you have to act alone and be responsible for that side. Luffy pointed in another direction, and then looked at Usopp. I actually got a disease that prevented me from going to the island. I went back to the Mary. Hearing this, Usopp covered his stomach and said in pain. Ah. Are you sick? Are you okay? Luffy looked worried and believed it. I'm fine, I just need to recuperate on the boat, and I can't act with you. Usopp staggered towards the Mary. Hey, you're just pretending, and you're pretending to be decent. Hurry up, don't waste time. Now that Nami has fallen into the hands of the Dragon Pirates, there might be some danger. Seeing this, Sanji almost kicked him. Nami, well, even if I get terminally ill, I will try my best to get Nami back. Hearing this, Usopp gritted his teeth, although he was afraid, he still agreed. Moonlight. Then Luffy looked at Moonlight. Moonlight nodded. The 4 of them set out to explore in the 4 directions of east, south, northwest, respectively. Once there is any information or something, they will immediately send out a signal to notify everyone. At the same time, in Kokoyasi village, the place where Nami buried her treasures, Nami looked at her with a satisfied face. The treasures she has worked hard for all these years, million Baileys, are about to be collected. By then, she and everyone will be free. Thinking of this, Nami couldn't help laughing. The smile is very bright. Sure enough, it's here, little thief cat Nami, all the treasures you stole are now confiscated by our marines. That's a lot, ha ha ha. It's getting bigger now. However, at this moment, a group of soldiers suddenly gathered around, looking at the baby in front of them, their eyes sparkled, and they all became excited. The first one, who looked like a mouse, let out a giggle and looked at Nami proudly. Chapter 40 Nami's Tears. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Navy, you. Nami was stunned, looking at the sudden appearance of the Navy, which she never expected. Why is the Navy here? And it just so happens that she knows where her treasure is hidden. Only she knows this place. Bring these treasures back to me, chirp chirp. The mouse let out a mouse-like cry, pointed at the baby that had been dug out, its eyes glowed, and ordered. Go away, these things are mine, you have no right to touch them. Seeing this, Nami's eyes were about to split open, and the anger in her eyes was about to burst out. Little thief cat Nami, you are a member of the Dragon Pirates, you are a pirate, and we are the Navy. If you don't want to be caught, just go away obediently, otherwise I will also arrest you, as well as those of you in Kokoja village. They are also part of the same party. The mouse sneered, and pointed at the many villagers who suddenly appeared behind Nami, the leader of whom was Aegean, the guard sailor of the village. Colonel, you are really going too far. These things are all taken from the pirates by this kid in an upright manner. You have no right to spoil them. Besides, Colonel, since you know that the dragon pirates are causing trouble, why don't you catch them and deal with us instead? Seeing this scene, Jian couldn't help but said angrily. Yes, you are sailors, you can't bully us Nami. At this time, a dark-skinned woman stood in front of Nami, pointed at the mouse and waited for the sea soldier to shout coldly, this is Nami's older sister, Noki Gao. Fuck off, Marines. Protect Nami, she has paid too much for us. Protect Nami. All the villagers stepped forward to stand in front of Nami. You all. Nami was stunned again. Didn't they hate themselves, because she joined the dragon pirates and became one of them? Why is this happening? Fool, we already know your true intentions. Noachigao smiled and looked at Nami. Although he joined the dragon pirates, his real purpose was just to reach an agreement with Eren, and he ran secretly and desperately to redeem the village with, million Baileys. The villagers saw through this incident from the very beginning. Although Nami has a delicate mind, she can't hide it from the seasoned Aegean and Noachigao. You. Nami's heart trembled. Are you trying to fight against the Navy? Court death. Seeing the villagers surrounding him, the mouse sneered and gave an order. Everyone is ready. If there is any movement from these people, they will be killed. Yes. All of a sudden, the Navy became murderous and pointed their guns at all the villagers. As long as you dare to make any movement, you will be killed immediately, without mercy. There was a dead silence all around. Facing the black muzzle of the Navy, who is not afraid of death. In this way, under the watchful eyes of everyone, the mouse took the Navy and dug out all the treasures that Nami had hidden, bundles of Baileys, gold one by one. The wealth is moving and dazzling. Ha ha ha, these things are all mine now. The mouse became more and more proud. Really? Not necessarily. However, at this moment, an indifferent voice suddenly sounded, and then a young man in black slowly walked out of the jungle on one side, appearing in everyone's sight. All eyes looked over. Who are you? The mouse's face immediately darkened. Who is he? All the villagers also looked at the young man who appeared in a daze. Moonlight, it's you. But Nami recognized it all at once. Who is it not Moonlight? After the four of them separated, Moonlight followed the agreed direction, and finally came to the place where Nami hid the treasure, and this scene happened. Nami, you are here. What, is something wrong? Do you want help? Seeing Nami, Moonlight smiled faintly, and glanced at the mouse and the others. Moonlight, I. Nami was speechless. She turned her back on everyone and came back alone. Already a perfidy, she is no longer a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. Facing the Moonlight, she doesn't know how to speak now. Nami, do you know him? Noachigao was puzzled. Are you Nami's friend? Please help her baby is being robbed. The villagers who looked around said hastily. It turns out that the same party, my uncle is in a good mood today. you'd better behave yourself, otherwise I don't mind taking you back to the Navy prison and imprisoning you for 45 years. Seeing the Moonlight, the mouse first smiled triumphantly, then said coldly, he is the captain of the Navy, who dares to mess with him? So what if the party is here, just stand aside obediently. These people are really noisy, Nami, I don't know what your reason for leaving is, but if you want to leave, you must give Luffy a reason, otherwise I won't recognize it. Looking at Nami, Moonlight smiled faintly, and then looked at Mouse and the others. Roll. Buzz, an invisible evil spirit waved towards the Mouse and the others. Overlord is domineering. Puff puff puff, wherever the evil spirit passed, all the sailors fainted, limp, and passed out on the ground, including the Mouse, which also trembled and sat on the ground all at once. In an instant, all the navies lost their combat effectiveness and fell to the ground. At the same time, a voice rang in Yueguang's mind. Ding! Overlord Color Domineering has been promoted to LV21/100000. Finally upgraded to LV2. Okay, no one is bothering you now, Nami, follow me to meet Luffy. Hearing this voice, Yueguang was overjoyed, and then stood among the million Baileys, looking at Nami. Hiss. What happened? What's going on? What happened to these sailors? That's it. So strong, that everyone around looked at the scene in front of them, but they were stunned. What's wrong with the menacing and mighty navy? Why did they all suddenly fall to the ground? What did this man named Moonlight do? Is this magic? Are you Nami's enemy? Nuachigao trembled, but she stood in front of Nami. She felt that it was not that simple. He's not, no Kigo. Nami came out, her body twitching, her eyes filled with tears. Moonlight, help me, I can't hold on any longer. Nami looked at the Moonlight, her eyes filled with tears. She already figured it out, why the Navy knew about this place, and at this moment, all of this was Aaron's fault. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but feel extremely desperate. Okay, this is the first time Moonlight has seen Nami's expression since she met her. Okay, tell me everything. Moonlight nodded. He came here, of course, to give Nami a hand. Who dares to trespass on the domain of my dragon pirates? Catch him, this long-nosed one is the companion Nami mentioned. Go on. At this time, Usopp was lucky enough to come to the root base of the dragon pirates, Aaron Paradise. Before they approached, they were noticed by the sensitive Murlocs, and they all shouted. Someone even recognized Usopp. Usopp was shocked and ran for his life.